everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and as always, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I am definitely having a fantastic day because of what is right here in front of me, what arrived in the mail today, something that you guys know that I have been wanting to get my hands on for a while now, but definitely you guys have known for the last few weeks I've been wanting to get my hands on this, as only a few weeks ago I mentioned I was on the hunt for this and I was having a little bit of a hard time coming across a copy of this. I finally found one, and it is right here inside this package. Right here in front of me is something that's a bit of a holy grail for my collection, something I've been wanting to get my hands on that completes a collection. This is so cool. So let's take a look at what is inside here. And we have Nicktoons Volume 3, the Game Boy Advance video cart. This is awesome because, as you guys know, for those of you who've been following me, this here completes my Game Boy Advance video collection. I now have all 35 Game Boy Advance video cards. This is awesome. And like I told you guys, I was having a little bit of a hard time coming across this. Apparently, there's another title which we'll get into in a minute. We're gonna take a look at all 35 titles. There's another title that's considered a lot of times to be one of the most rare Game Boy Advance cards, whether it's a game or Game Boy Advance video, one of the rarest cards. I had no trouble finding the other card. I found a ton of copies online. This one right here, I was lucky enough to stumble across this. I was having the hardest time. I was searching around on the internet, all the typical places, gaming websites, like gaming trading sites and selling sites, eBay, Amazon, all the other sites like that. I was on all of them trying to find a copy of this. Nobody had one for sale. They were just non-existent. I stumbled across one of all places, Etsy. I did not have an Etsy account. I've certainly heard of Etsy. I know what Etsy is. I've never been a member, though. I've never signed up to Etsy and ordered anything off of Etsy before, but as soon as I came across this, I immediately created an account and bought it. Only paid $10 for this, which in my opinion was a really, really good deal. That included shipping and handling, so $10 total for this. Very, very awesome. And now, as I said, my Game Boy Advance video collection is complete. This is the first and probably only cinematic format that I will have a complete collection of. Because some people ask me, oh, you're going to try to get like every HD DVD or every UMD video or something like that. It's not going to happen. There's a few reasons. One, because there are a lot more titles than a lot of people think that were put out for HD DVD or UMD video or even something like CED that was only around for a few years. Formats like that, there were a lot of movies put out on it, so that's already an issue. There's a ton of stuff I need to collect for it. The idea of getting a complete collection is cool, but impractical probably. It would be really difficult to do. It'd be neat someday. We'll see. I don't know, but I wouldn't count on it. Also, the fact that I'd be buying a lot of stuff I have no interest in. There's a lot of titles that are put on those formats that I don't really care about or really want to have, and I would only be buying just to be like, here's the complete collection, which would be okay, I guess, but it would be a lot of stuff I just don't have any interest in. When it comes to Game Boy Advance video cards, there's only 2 titles I have no interest in. Everything else, all 33 other cards, I enjoy. I like all these, so that's awesome. Even stuff like CBHD and HD VMD and stuff like that. Those formats, not a lot of titles put out on them, but they're just extremely rare and extremely hard to come across. The fact that I even have any of those in my collection at all is pretty amazing. They're very, very, very rare. So not many titles put out on them, but extremely hard to get my hands on. So completing any collections like that, it's just probably not going to happen. I would love to, but I wouldn't count on it. So when I thought about what collection could I complete, what cinematic format could I complete, Game Boy Advance video seemed like a good way to go. There's only 35 cards put out. As I said, only 35 cards. It's also sort of gaming related, and of course gaming is huge right now. Just video game collecting is quite popular, and as such I figured I'd also have a little bit of an easier time finding them because they're more relevant and more out in the open. If gaming collecting wasn't, you know, as relevant and as popular, these might be a bit more scarce. Not everybody had them listed or for selling, or selling them or whatever. They'd be a little bit harder to come across because I mean they're Game Boy Advance video cards. I don't think these would be flying off the shelves or anything like that, so you probably wouldn't find many of these around, but since gaming is so big, these are a bit easier to find. So definitely decided to try to complete my collection, and it is done. It is officially complete. All 35 cards right here in front of me. This is an amazing day. I have finally completed a cinematic media formats. I have every one of these now, and that is awesome to say. I'm happy. Even if this is the only one I ever complete, I'm happy to say that. So these are pretty awesome, but at the same time, they're kind of crappy all at the same time. These were put out in 2004 by Majesco. They only released over 35 of these. It kind of came and went. The issue with these is the fact that, well, for instance, they don't play on the Game Boy, the GameCube, Game Boy Advance adapter. That drives me nuts. You pop them in, they don't play. It's due to a copyright thing. They were afraid people were basically going to take these and copy them, which makes no sense because the other crappy thing about these is the fact that Game Boy Advance cards only hold up to 64 megabytes of memory, which can hold is actually a decent amount. You can put a lot of games on here and stuff like that. I have cards that have like 5 complete games on and stuff like that, so you can put a lot of information on these cards. I mean, you can put full movies and TV shows and stuff like that on these cards. The issue is when you're cramming on that, when you're compressing all that onto one of these cards, you're getting horrible frame rate, horrible picture quality, which is partly because of just the compression and the fact that you're using the Game Boy Advance screen, which is great for pixelized games and stuff like that, but not so much for movies and TV shows and whatnot. It doesn't really work. The sound quality, again, Game Boy Advance sound is okay for a game or stuff like that, but not so much for video. So you're really compressing the video down, and you're getting kind of a crappy image and sound quality because of just the compression and trying to shove all that onto one of these cards. So it is what it is. You're not getting anything. It's not like UMD video or something like that, which, by the way, these came out about a year before they started doing UMD video. So it's not like UMD video where you're getting DVD quality picture and sound. You're not getting that with Game Boy Advance video, but it is what it is. These are really marketed towards kids, and kids don't necessarily care about that stuff as much, whereas UMD video is very much marketed not only towards kids, but very much towards adults as well. A lot of PG-13 and R-rated movies and full TV seasons and stuff like that released UMD video more for the adult collector. They were really trying to kind of push it alongside DVD. These were basically like, hey kids, you already got your Game Boy Advance, you have your games you like, why not get some episodes and some movies as well? Kind of made sense, I guess, but they kind of came and went. They didn't really take off all that well, and only 35 titles were ever put out, and I now have number 35 here. I'm so excited. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at all of these. We'll take a look at my entire collection here, and I'll just let you guys know what all came out. So first thing I'm going to show you is actually what is a lot of times considered one of the rarest Game Boy Advance cards, and that is Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go Volume 1. There never was a Volume 2. I've seen a lot of lists on YouTube and a lot of just like lists online of people listing the rarest Game Boy Advance cards. And it's a whole bunch of games. And then they get down to number 1. You'll never believe what it is. And it's a Game Boy Advance video cards. And they usually say it's this, which is probably why I ended up paying $35 for this online, because it's considered rare. And really, I don't think it is all that super rare, because I came across a lot of these online. On eBay, there was a bunch of these. On Amazon, there's a bunch of these. I saw some of these on other sites as well, both boxed and unboxed. I went for an unboxed collection. I do have maybe about half of these boxed. I don't have them in the box. The boxes are stored upstairs for now. Maybe someday I'll complete my collection boxed. It'd be neat, but as of right now, since I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg, I just went for loose cards. So, again, apparently one of the rarest cards for the Game Boy Advance, because I guess this was like one of the last, it was either one of the last or like the last Game Boy Advance video card to come out, and as such, it just, not a lot were sold. Makes sense, but really when it came down to it, again, I found a ton of these online. I had the hardest time. It took me a few days worth of hunting this card down to finally grab it. And a quick little story now thinking about it, when it comes to the Nicktoons Volume 3, I was scared I wasn't going to get this either. I ordered off of Etsy, and it didn't ship, and it didn't ship, and it didn't ship, and I contacted the seller, and they weren't getting back to me, and I'm thinking, oh man, like, am I getting gypped here? They're gonna just blow me off, and I'm gonna get a refund. I don't want a refund. I want my card, damn it. So I thought I was gonna get gypped. They finally got back to me and said, oh, we're sorry, we were on vacation, I'm mailing it out today, and they mailed it out. And then they mailed it with tracking, and then for whatever reason, the tracking got no further than the post office they sent it from. I guess in the infinite wisdom of the United States Postal Service, they felt they didn't need to track it from the post office it was sent to my post office, my P.O. box, that it arrived to. In between there, no tracking whatsoever. So I thought, Is it lost? Was it sent back? Like, where is it? So it finally did arrive, and of course, it was coming all the way from California, so it took a while to get here. I was freaking out, but it arrived, so a nervous few, like, weeks there. But anyway, so, alright, so again, Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go Volume 1. Then the two that I'm not really all that into. These are the two titles, the only two titles out of these 35 titles that I'm kind of just like, I really just got to complete the collection. And that is Dora the Explorer Volume 1, again, never a Volume 2, and Strawberry Shortcake Volume 1, once again, never a Volume 2. So it is what it is, not so much into those. Then we got some Disney here with the Proud Family Volume 1. This is an okay show. I'm not like a huge fan of the Proud Family, but it's okay. I do enjoy it. And we have Disney Channel Collection Volume 1 and Volume 2. Very, very cool. And again, never a Volume 2 for Proud Family. A lot of stuff that came out that were marked at Volume 1. I guess they had planned on doing a Volume 2 and never got around to it. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Things Change. Great series. I love that Turtle series. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi vs. Joey. Dragon Ball GT Volume 1. Again, never a Volume 2. Then we got some Cartoon Network here, and these were kind of weird the way they released these. We have Cartoon Network Collection Volume 1. Okay. Cartoon Network Collection Volume 2. Again, okay. And then 4 more. And you would think to yourself, all right, 4 more, so Volume 3, 4, 5, and 6, correct? Not so much. Volume 1 and 2, and then they got weird, and they went with Cartoon Collection, Cartoon Network Collection, Special Edition, Limited Edition, Premium Edition, and Platinum Edition. I don't know why they did that. They're all different. Every one of these, all 6 cards here have something different on each one of them. But why they went with volumes 1 and 2 and then these edition ones, I have no idea. Kind of weird. So when I first started collecting these, I almost like missed out on some of these. In fact, there was one of these I almost didn't get. I think it was, it was Platinum and Premium. I think it was the, well, this is still a sticker on it, so it probably was this one. The Platinum Edition. I almost didn't grab this because I thought I had them all. I was getting confused with Premium Edition. So if you're trying to collect all these, keep in mind, once you get Cartoon Network Collection Volume 1 and 2, you have 4 other edition releases to pick up as well. I don't get it either, but that's what they did. All right, down to get to some Nick here. All right, so we have Nicktoons Collection Volume 1, Volume 2, and the infamous Volume 3. As you can see, a little bit different artwork there as well. So this was definitely a later release, but in my opinion, one of the hardest cards to come across. I just couldn't find any copies of this online. But very, very awesome. So cool. Glad to have completed that. Then we have SpongeBob SquarePants Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. So 3 volumes of an excellent show, SpongeBob SquarePants. Love it. And Fairly Odd Parents Volume 1 and Volume 2. I do enjoy the Fairly Odd Parents. Great show as well. Volume 1 of All Grown Up, never a Volume 2. And The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Volume 1. Another great show, and once again, never a Volume 2 for that. All right, then we have Codename Kids Next Door, Volume 1. Never Volume 2, and I wish there was, because man, do I love this show. Codename Kids Next Door is just fantastic. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of that show, and that's cool. They at least released some of that. Then we have Sonic X, a Super Sonic Hero. Then we have 4 Pokemon titles. We have Beach, Blank Out Blastoise, and Go West Young Meowth. Hot Water Battle, and for Ho-Oh the Bell Toll. Playing with Fire and Johto Photo Finish. And Pokemon I Choose You, and Here Come the Squirtle Squad. Very, very cool. So, I am a huge Pokemon fan. I get made fun of it a lot, but when it comes down to anime, it's like my favorite anime series. I just love Pokemon. I've been obsessed with it ever since I was in, I think, high school. Pokemon came out. I remember watching the show before I used to go to school in the morning, before I went to high school. The show was playing on like WB or something like that. I used to watch it all the time. I became obsessed with this show. It was great. I was a huge Pokemon fan, so very cool. They released 4 of those. Why they didn't volume them, I don't know, but it's still very awesome. So that was it for TV shows, but then believe it or not, they actually did release full movies on these cards, which just blew me away the first time I found out about that, and especially the first time I ever got one. I got one of these in the mail. I think I ordered or something like that, and I expected it was boxed. It came complete boxed, and I expected when I opened it up, I thought I was going to get like one or more than one card, like two, three, four cards. I was going to get like quarter of the way through the movie, have to take the card out, put another one in to finish the rest of the movie. Like, I just thought this way it was going to go. I couldn't imagine they would fit an entire movie on one card. And that's exactly what they did. Like I said, though, compressed to hell, and the picture quality is, and the audio, video, everything is pretty much garbage. But they did it, and it's kind of cool. We have Shrek, Shrek 2, Shark Tale, and then, believe it or not, a double feature set here of Shrek and Shark Tale. Two movies, two full entire movies on one cart. That's pretty amazing. Again, think about how compressed down that is. 64 megabytes. That's it. So very, very, very much compressed, but still kind of cool at the same time. So that's awesome. So a bunch of DreamWorks movies here, but very cool. Again, Shrek, Shrek 2, Shark Tale, and this cool double feature of Shrek and Shark Tale. That is awesome. So that is all 35 of the Game Boy Advance video cards. I am so excited to now have them all, to have a complete collection, just to have a complete cinematic format collection. You guys know me, I collect, if it's a cinematic format, I gotta have it, I gotta collect it. I don't care if it's anything from, you know, something typical like DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, something like that, to something really weird, obscure, and rare, to just something fun and kind of goofy like Game Boy Advance video cards. If it's cinematic media, I gotta own it. I love it. And I don't think I'll ever, in theory anyway, I mean, who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and someday I will, but in theory, I'll probably never complete any other collection, like a full collection of just one format. It probably will never happen, but at least I can say I have one now, and that is really cool. I'm also trying to come up with a way of displaying these. We'll see. What I'm thinking is off the top of my head, but I'm not sure where I would put it down here because wall space is kind of at a premium. They make those picture frames that are a little bit thicker, and they have like a piece of foam in them, so when you take something and you put it in there, then you put the glass over top of it, wherever you put it, you know, it'll like stick in there like this. It kind of like compresses into the foam, and you can just put all kinds of stuff in there. Wherever you put it in the frame, it'll just stay wherever you put it. I was thinking I could do that for all these. It's just, if I do that, where am I going to hang it down here? I'm not so sure. I don't really have space to be hanging up picture frames for Game Boy Advance video cards. But I want to do something, because right now they're just in a bin like all my other Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, which are fine for my games. I don't mind my games being in bins. That's okay by me. I don't need to display them, but I would really like to display these somehow. And like I said, I went for a loose collection and not for a box collection. I only have about half of these boxed. So if the day comes down to, if it comes down to me actually getting all the boxes for these somewhere down the line, then yeah, that'd be cool. I would just display them on a shelf in their boxes. But as of right now, I got to come up with some idea to display them all loose. So we'll see what I'm going to do. But I don't know. When that comes around to it, when it comes down to me actually figuring out what I'm going to do, I will, I'll let you guys know. I'll either post something up on Instagram, or I'll shoot a video about it or something like that. So we'll see. But as of right now, I'm just so darn excited, because I now have all 35 Game Boy Advance cards. I have the complete, or Game Boy Advance video cards. I now have the complete collection, and that is so amazing. And just, I can't believe I was able to find the Nicktoons Volume 3 again. Took me a little while. I had to spend a few days hunting this one down, and I wasn't even looking on Etsy. I didn't even think to look on Etsy. I happened to stumble upon a listing for this just in a random like Google search, and I jumped on it immediately. $10 for this. That was a steal. Very cool find. So, all right, guys, there you go. That is it. So like I always say, thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you want to see a new video from me every single day, hit that subscribe button, and you're going to get one. And also, if you want to grab yourself a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, hats, buttons, kids gear, baby gear, all kinds of cool Cinema Sickness gear, head over to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com where you can get yourself some of that. And finally, if you want to support new content, just show your thanks and appreciation for these videos, head over to patreon.com/cinemasickness, where every tiny little bit helps and is very much greatly appreciated. So again, that is it. Thanks for watching a complete Game Boy Advance video game collection. I am so excited. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.